25 years ago, a local man saw people in his community needing help with utility bills, but they had nowhere to turn. Well, now his organization serves communities across Missouri and Illinois. HeatUpSt. and its summer counterpart, CoolDownSt. helps elderly, disabled, and low-income residents pay their utility bills. So the organization has raised over $50 million and now helps people in 44 counties in the bi-state. Gentry Trotter, the founder, says building relationships in the community is what it takes to help provide heat and air conditioning to those who need it the most.
Working with the utility companies, working with social service agencies, working with the first responders, working with everybody in business so we can make a difference and save lives. That's what we're trying to do. We're keeping people from freezing to death. We're keeping people from dying because of a heat stroke in the summer.
It's important work, and if you need help paying your utility bill, or if you're interested in supporting those efforts, you can go to HeatUpSt.